Finally! Author Colleen Hoover, whose novel It Ends With Us was turned into the much talked about movie starring Justin Baldoni and novice film editor Blake Lively, is breaking her silence.
Blake Lively was just delivered a blow by the court several weeks ago that Lively's legal team sent out a bunch of subpoenas to cellular provider companies like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Her attorneys, Ezra Hudson and Michael Gottlieb, said in a statement that was published in the Hollywood Reporter, quote, "Miss Lively has initiated discovery that will expose the people, tactics, and methods that have worked to destroy and bury her reputation and family over the past year. We will now receive all of the receipts that, unsurprisingly, are nowhere to be found on Mr. Friedman's website. And like Miss Lively, those receipts will have their day in court." That is a reference to Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, and the website that was purportedly launched by him and Baldoni's team, featuring an amended complaint in the case, their version of a timeline of events in the story. It featured never-before-seen text messages between Baldoni and Lively.
There's always friction that happens when you make a movie like this.
This ends with me. I'm done. I'm tired.
It comes down to the hard evidence, which in this case are going to be text messages, emails, and certainly witness testimony as to what really happened here.
Blake Lively, the beloved actress and fashion icon, is reportedly losing her mind after Colleen Hoover, the best-selling author, made a jaw-dropping confession in court. Yes, you heard that right. Colleen Hoover, the mastermind behind some of the most gripping novels of our time, allegedly admitted to a series of shocking illegal activities that have direct implications for Blake Lively's career and reputation.
This has been like an ongoing theory that like Ryan Reynolds is the guy that's behind all of this, because people feel that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively were secretly in love while filming this. And if you listen to some of like the voice text that he sent her, it seems like a very, like they had originally like a very intimate conversation, and like, you know, just their conversations
or it
were
was just him
very
speaking
like
at 2 a.m.
love-like.
Or that's just his voice at 2 a.m.
Right. Yes, but fans are really reading into this, and they're like, you know, Ryan is so jealous of this relationship. He's trying to torpedo this. And look, at the end of the day, the scenes do kind of look alike. You know, the interaction, the camera angles, the dancing.
Colleen Hoover was friends with Justin Baldoni for years. He reached out to her, wooed her, expressed his love and admiration for her writing, and really sold her on the story that he wanted to tell as director before the Plantation Princess extorted him and took over all control of the movie. Submitted in the amended lawsuit against Taylor Swift's bestie are all these email communications between Baldoni and Hoover. And despite their long history together, Colleen Hoover repeatedly turned her back on Justin Baldoni, as well as publicly praising the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband. Even before the release of It Ends With Us, the author distanced herself from Baldoni. Instead of promoting the film with him, she joined the promo trail repeatedly with her. Only at the very beginning did she have an event with Justin Baldoni. But after that, right up until the film's release, it was all about Colleen and Blake, Colleen and Blake.
This scandal is sending shockwaves through Hollywood, and it seems like everyone, from celebrities to fans, is weighing in. What's the truth behind these allegations? Is Blake really involved in this mess? And why is Colleen suddenly coming forward with these claims?
She, last month, deleted her IG. She still kept her FB up, but the IG was gone. Until now. It's back, but a few things are very noticeably different for her on IG.
Buckle up, because this is going to be a roller coaster ride full of drama, betrayal, and high-stakes courtroom confessions.
I lived under a rock because I hadn't heard of Colleen Hoover before they came to me with this movie, but you don't really see a lot of me in the character. And I think that more than any movie I've ever done, like Lily is such a ball buster. I am rotten to the core when it comes to that. Like I am very, like if I'm not busting your balls, then you should be worried. Then I'm mad mad at you, then I don't love you. You know, and just the way that I sort of use humor and levity in moments of sadness or pain, because that's the prism through which I can cope and deflect, and I smile in sad moments because it's just how I process things.
Let's start with the bombshell confession that sent Hollywood into chaos. Colleen Hoover, the queen of contemporary romance novels, took the stand in a highly publicized legal battle and, to everyone's shock, made some unexpected revelations.
Hoover has supported publicly, repeatedly, the Z-list star. As recently as December, Colleen Hoover said of Blake Lively, "At Blake Lively, you have been nothing but honest, kind, supportive, and patient since the day we met. Thank you for being exactly the human that you are. Never change, never wilt." Turns out Colleen Hoover has had a change of heart. She's back on the IG. She had previously on the FB denied reports that she was retiring. Not true. She's also not gotten rid of any staff or team members. Colleen Hoover has gotten rid of the Woody Allen apologist. The It Ends With Us author is no longer following on IG Taylor Swift's former bestie. Additionally, as if that in and of itself did not sting enough, Colleen Hoover took it a step further and deleted all of her posts with the shampoo company owner. So, all the photos, everything together with Blake has been scrubbed from her IG.
According to multiple sources, Colleen admitted to being involved in financial mismanagement, ghostwriting scandals, and even insider trading, claims that no one saw coming. But here's the kicker. She allegedly named Blake Lively as one of the key figures who benefited from these secret dealings. The courtroom was left in stunned silence as Colleen detailed how certain Hollywood elites allegedly used their influence to manipulate industry trends, book deals, and even movie contracts.
Blake's legal team doubled down, calling the bombshell $400 million lawsuit another chapter in the abuser playbook. The strategy of attacking the woman is desperate, and it will fail.
It comes down to the hard evidence, which in this case are going to be text messages, emails, and certainly witness testimony as to what really happened here.
Among the dozens of receipts in Justin's suit, a text exchange in which Blake refers to herself as Game of Thrones Khaleesi, calling husband Ryan Reynolds and bestie Taylor, quote, "my dragons who protect those I fight for," adding, "we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise you."
'Cause it loves me.
Blake also calls Ryan and Taylor dance moms level stage moms. This after Justin claims he was summoned to a meeting at Ryan and Blake's penthouse. Their mega celebrity friend walked in praising Blake's rewrite of this rooftop scene.
Yeah, I may have made that up.
Justin maintains this was an intimidation tactic. Two of the most influential and wealthy celebrities were not afraid to make things very difficult for him. Cut to film promotion more than a year later, and Blake telling press Ryan actually wrote the scene in question.
Everything I do is in lockstep with her. She just takes every step with me.
Another Colleen Hoover controversy was how she handled her son having sexual harassment allegations. Now, there isn't a lot of information about this out there, so I am merely presenting what I have found. In a tweet on February 12, 2022, which has since been deleted, a Twitter user added to a thread against Colleen Hoover saying her son also sexually harassed me and she blocked me when I spoke up about it to her. In a second tweet, she said, long story short, we were friends in Snapchat and shit. And like every day we would message because we're friends, right? And like this was when I was 16 and he was fully aware of how old I was. I always talked about the fact that I was still in school. This person also provided screenshots of her DMs to Colleen Hoover with a red receipt. Colleen didn't seem to have replied according to the screenshot. This person said they were 16 at the time, so Colleen Hoover's son would have been 21 years old. And so this Twitter thread caught the attention of Reddit and TikTok and it started going viral.
But why now? Why is Colleen coming forward with this confession? And is she telling the truth? While some fans are praising her for her bravery in exposing corruption, others are skeptical, questioning whether she has ulterior motives. One major question remains. Does Blake Lively have anything to do with this? Or is she just another casualty in Hollywood's never-ending power struggles?
A theory right now amongst popular, podcasters is that
she fell for him.
Fell for Justin. Mm-hmm. He rejected her. I think this theory is a bit reductive. I think that this is just a woman's revenge because she was scorned, I think is wrong.
I don't know that it always has to be about, she fell in love with him. I think there could have been a world there though that she really clicked with him, she thought he wanted her to be this close collaborator. And then when that part was rejected, that was an ego sting. But also when it was clear that any sort of budding crush she had, or full crush, that there was no interest there either.
Right.
Then all of a sudden she's just taking so many ego hits.
Yeah. Maybe when you're Blake Lively, you're used to just men fawning over you.
Right.
Every man falling for you, especially when this guy's a little bit of a nobody. And to be rejected by this nobody director.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into Blake's reaction, because let's just say it was intense.
It's that much more devastating, and it shows that this could happen to anyone. And it does.
Insiders who were present in the courtroom claim that Blake went pale when Colleen's testimony was read aloud. Witnesses say she looked completely blindsided, gripping her attorney's arm in disbelief. And here's where it gets really wild. Some sources suggest that Blake stormed out of the courtroom in a rage after hearing Colleen's claims, allegedly muttering, "This is insane. She's lying."
They were able to say no because this specific HR complaint was not filed against Justin Baldoni. It was filed against Jamie Heath, Baldoni's producer, and it wasn't a claim of harassment. So if this is what made her so uncomfortable on the set of It Ends With Us.
But that's not all. Reports say that shortly after the courtroom drama, Blake had a heated phone call, speculated to be with her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Was she trying to do damage control? Was she genuinely unaware of the allegations?
And Brian Friedman knows how to fight back against a bully. Trust me. And he started telling everybody Justin Baldoni's side. He told us that Justin Baldoni denied those claims of sexual harassment and only tried to appease Blake Lively because she was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat. He had to bend over backwards just to get her to shut up and complete the film. He told us that Justin Baldoni claims she tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do is direct it and edit it and produce it. I want all the roles for me and only me. I want full control because I am a controlling bully. That Justin Baldoni, ultimately, by the time they got to the premiere, was mandated by Blake Lively to spend the night in the basement, away from his co-stars, and didn't even get to see the final cut of his own movie because Blake Lively insisted that she be the one to approve it, until he watched it on the screen with his editors, who also hadn't seen it because her editors finished it up. That's the situation he says he was in. So it's a real he said, she said. Who's telling the truth? Is he some creep harasser who took a shot at somebody like Blake, jeopardizing his movie and his future career? Or is she just extremely high maintenance and someone who plays the victim when she doesn't get her way?
Whatever the case, fans are divided. Some believe Blake is a victim of Colleen's attempt to shift blame, while others wonder if there's more to the story than meets the eye.
Are you really worried you're going to get bullied? I mean, I think if people publicly support Blake Lively that were there, then there'll be a greater chance that Blake's believed. The reason she's not believed is it's all smoke and no fire. I really think that's what it comes down to. Baldoni's camp told TMZ Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, and their paid representatives initiated this campaign, which has severely impacted many private individuals' livelihoods and families. Since they've yet to show any evidence and continue to blame mothers for the online vitriol resulting from their own actions, they are now speaking on behalf of alleged third parties who have not come forward themselves.
Adding fuel to the fire, Hollywood insiders claim that Blake has been cancelling appearances and avoiding press events. And now, a viral video from her latest talk show appearance is making waves, showing her visibly irritated, snapping at the host and cutting them off mid-question. The awkward exchange left the audience stunned, with many speculating that the mounting accusations were getting to her. Is she crumbling under pressure, or is there more to the story?
It's not just the women that have the clothes. I feel like the women get the conversation, but it's like every detail with everybody.
Can you relate to the things they were saying about Hollywood? It's so easy to get seduced by the fame and the money and the glamour.
You see it all the time. That was one of my favorite things about the movie, were the subtle turns to their own transition into like the ego of showbiz that Kristen has in that scene with Steve Carell, and then with Bobby taking on the persona of a club owner, but still like these are things you do when you're an adult.
Yeah.
When you have to work, you have to, you play a part, you play at your life in a way that you find successful, or so it's a lot about choices.
So let's talk about Kjersti, the interviewer, because on numerous occasions it cuts to her and we're seeing some behaviors that weren't necessarily there before. There are certain moments where even that polite or social smile has completely faded and it's just blank expression. We're seeing those adapters or pacifiers now have skyrocketed. Whereas earlier it was a subtle thing like this, now we're seeing the individual hands kind of rubbing back and forth like this. And I can't give you a better example of an adapter or a pacifier. We have someone here who's talking with her hands earlier, we saw a little bit of this, but now we're definitely seeing this back and forth massaging gesture, which is self-soothing.
To really understand what's happening, we need to rewind and look at Blake and Colleen's history, because trust me, it's complicated.
Blake's Lily. So Lily's a beloved character. There's something very endearing about her carefree spirit, but also the difficulty that she's going through. What did you think Blake brought to that role?
Everything. Her talent is just immeasurable. I thought she did such a good job. I think my favorite thing is her humor. I feel like I didn't expect to laugh that much watching this film because it is so emotional, but she brought such levity to that character that I was kind of shocked to see and really enjoyed.
Blake and Colleen's connection started when Blake was set to star in the adaptation of Colleen's novel It Ends With Us. Initially, everything seemed fine. Fans were thrilled and Blake was excited to bring the beloved book to life. However, behind the scenes, things were reportedly getting messy.
And as soon as she mentioned the name Blake Lively, the audio turned off. It was so weird, and I was like, is it my phone? And then I texted with her and I spoke to her on the phone and she's like, it's the weirdest thing. It just turned off.
Insiders claimed that creative differences led to major disputes between the two women. Colleen allegedly wanted to maintain creative control over the project, while Blake and the producers wanted to make significant changes to the storyline. This power struggle led to tension, and some say it ended in a full-on feud.
Brandon hasn't seen it, so we're gonna sit through it.
But
and just know, it's literally, this is not a bit. It's literally not done. So to be honest, what really happened is we were like, we're gonna show the movie, and the studio was like, no, you're gonna show 20 minutes. So we're like, no, we're gonna show the movie. And they're like, it's not done. And I was like, they don't fucking care. It's true. They're like, if everything's not perfect and it's not done, and what if we're gonna change things? I was like, these are the people who authored the success of the book. You guys are what matter, and you guys seeing the movie is so important to us. So.
It is an early cut, and we're so excited, and busing 2,000 people to a movie theater sounds like a chaotic nightmare. So I just need you all to be excited and patient. This is a huge honor. This early, so we want it to go well.
I literally brought the movie with me on the airplane. I have a folder with a disc, a hard drive.
I love it. Yes.
No, yeah, it's and the other thing is I have the cutest jeans ever that I'm wearing tomorrow night. Also not sponsored, but they're really, really cute, and they've got flowers on them, and they're cut out. And then Colleen saw my jeans, and then she was inspired because she loves me, and she got these cute flower jeans, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be jean influencers. So
could this courtroom confession be Colleen's way of getting back at Blake? Or is there truth to her claims? Hollywood is divided and the internet is on fire with theories.
Now, the lawyers for Baldoni & Co., they filed a letter with the judge overseeing this case, the Honorable Louis J. Lyman, and they argued that these subpoenas from Blake Lively, they are way too overbroad. They claim that Lively was seeking, quote, all documents concerning ingoing and ongoing calls or text messages related to phone number, and it's redacted, belonging to each of the individuals. Wayfair parties, some of their employees, various non-party individuals, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site location information. They argued that the subpoenas seek such information over a period of multiple years, in most cases spanning from December 1st, 2022.
With such a massive scandal unfolding, you can bet that other celebrities aren't staying silent. Many have already started voicing their opinions on social media and in interviews.
Almost.
You're having weird cravings? Almost, because I wasn't sure what you'd be craving.
Nonsense.
That's
Can
not
I tell
good
you,
enough?
real friends bring you real food.
New video released by lawyers for actor Justin Baldoni shows unedited footage from the filming of It Ends With Us. The lawyers say the video's evidence that his co-star Blake Lively's allegations of sexual harassment are unfounded, but Lively says they only validate her claims.
Justin Baldoni, who is directing It Ends With Us, was reportedly shocked by the courtroom confession. A close source says Justin had no idea there was any bad blood between Blake and Colleen until now. He's allegedly considering issuing a statement to clarify the situation, but is wary of getting too involved in the drama. Taylor Swift, who is good friends with Blake Lively, subtly showed her support by liking a post defending Blake on Instagram. Swifties are now rallying behind Blake, calling the allegations ridiculous and accusing Colleen of fabricating drama. Reese Witherspoon, a Hollywood powerhouse known for her involvement in book-to-movie adaptations, commented in a recent interview that scandals like these only hurt the industry and the art of storytelling. She didn't take sides, but many believe her words were directed at Colleen for bringing such personal disputes into the public eye. Chrissy Teigen, never one to stay quiet on social media, tweeted, "Woo! Hollywood has lost it this week. Popcorn, anyone?" Clearly, she's enjoying the drama from the sidelines, but fans are wondering if she'll say more.
Yeah, no, unfortunately for our viewers, there was no Justin Baldoni, there was no Blake Lively, there was no Ryan Reynolds or any other family members, as far as I could tell from being inside that courtroom. As far as that clarification on whether or not a gag order will be inflicted, no, not necessarily. So what's going to happen now is that the judge was actually pretty reluctant, to kind of issue a Rule 3.6. And from your clarification, Jesse, during that commercial break, that was more so just about ethics, about, Brian Friedman making those statements to the media, trying to, as Blake Lively's attorneys would explain it, trying to potentially taint the jury pool by making these out of comments. But it was kind of interesting in the sense that it was a lot of back and forth inside that courtroom. So, as far as every statement that was made by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' attorney, it was always countered by Justin Baldoni's attorneys. Well, they started it first. They began this first. Had this not happened, this wouldn't be an issue right now. So I think on their side, them being the Baldoni team, they're just kind of playing defense, right? Like, all of this started back in August, as far as we can tell. Honestly, all of it started back on that set of It Ends With Us. But, it's a bunch of he said, she said, but the judge kind of wanted to stop the he said, she said.
As more celebrities chime in, the question remains, who's telling the truth? And more importantly, how will this affect Blake Lively's career?
I've been contacted by probably like 6 or 7 people now who said that they had experiences with Blake Lively and that they could never go public with it because it will end their careers. Still, after all this has come out.
This entire situation brings up a much larger issue, Hollywood's obsession with power, control, and backroom deals. From feuds between A-list celebrities to shocking betrayals in the entertainment industry, this scandal is just another chapter in Hollywood's dark history.
Blake Lively and I went to high school together. In fact, we were both in ASB, Associated Student Body, at the same time. I was vice president of the school at the time, and she was president of her class at the time. And let me just say, the rumors that are going on and on about her, a lot of friends of hers or people who knew her from high school, some of them are backing her up, while others are full on coming out, mutual friends of ours from high school, like literally talking trash. To say it nicely. There's not so nice things remembered about her, and it's all kind of sad. She was in cheer and choir, I believe, and we were all in ASB at the same time, and we were all good students, 4.0 and above. But some of us were a little bit nicer than others, if you know what I mean. And so there's a lot of us from high school who aren't that surprised about the nasty stuff that has come out.
Blake Lively has built a career on elegance and professionalism, but now her reputation is at risk. Will she be able to recover, or will this scandal follow her forever? And as for Colleen Hoover, was this confession a genuine act of truth-telling, or was it a calculated move for attention and revenge?
The Wayfair parties have sued Miss Lively for a preposterous sum of $400 million for claiming that a retaliatory campaign existed, yet now appear to fear having third parties turn over the actual evidence that would document the who, what, when, where, and why of that campaign. On February 12, 2025, the Lively Reynolds parties issued notices of the subpoenas to the aforementioned carriers seeking non-content records, that is, numerical logs related to 15 specific individuals. Each individual is either a party to this action or is an agent, employee of a party who appears, based on evidence discovered in this case, to have a direct connection to the underlying issues. The requests are tailored to the time during which evidence shows each individual may have been involved in acts giving rise to Miss Lively's claims. Such information is not only relevant, but essential to unearth the network of individuals involved in the alleged retaliation scheme against Miss Lively.
This case has made one thing clear. In Hollywood, friendships can be as fragile as careers, and one confession can change everything.
I think that oftentimes when I think of films that have portrayed, we'll call it what it is. It's violence against women. They often paint a picture that's a bit more black and white, where this person is clearly the villain and this woman is clearly the victim, and you could see how could she possibly experience that at this person's hands? Or when she does experience it, she's out right away and has a revelation. You don't normally see how gray it can be and how confusing it can be, and how you can be a woman with confidence and agency and know better and still not see all of the red flags that you should. And I think that, so it was really important to me.
All right, that's a wrap for today. What do you think about this explosive courtroom drama? Is Blake Lively innocent, or do you believe there's some truth to Colleen Hoover's confession? And what about the celebrity reactions? Are they truly supporting Blake or just playing it safe?
It ends with us drama. I feel like we've got to move past it now. Brandon has spoken his piece.
And for those of you who don't know, Brandon is
Atlas.
He is Blake and Justin's co-star.
Released a lengthy statement to Instagram saying, vilifying the women who put so much of their heart and soul into making this film because they believe so strongly in its message seems counterproductive and detracts from what this film is about. It is, in fact, the opposite of the point.
This coming out now shows that it's not the marketing. That whatever it may be, there might have been something else. It's not coincidental that the whole cast isn't unfollowing him and whatnot.
I just think it says a lot that Justin hasn't spoken out against all the hate that's going towards Blake, because again, if you've ever read Justin's stuff, that person would seemingly have done that, and he hasn't. And I think if you got to start asking yourself the right questions, and you got to start reading between the lines about who we think we should side with in this feud between Justin and Blake.
Let's get the discussion going in the comments. And don't forget, if you love juicy celebrity scandals, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Give this video a big thumbs up if you want to hear more behind the scenes Hollywood tea. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.